So hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another Way of the Hunter video. Now this video is going to be a little trophy compilation of some 5 stars and also some other very exciting trophies that I have gotten recently here in Way of the Hunter. And we're starting off here with a 5-star mature MOUFLON ram. Now I was waiting for him to walk out into an opening here so that I could get a clear shot at him, and unfortunately he would not stop and be still, so I had to take a shot there while he was actually moving. Now I felt like that shot was quite far back, but I did see pink blood and he didn't go very far before he actually ended up dropping. Such an impressive looking animal. The 5-star MOUFLON are absolutely huge. The horns just look absolutely incredible. So let's take a look at what the shot actually was like. So actually I'm pretty happy with this shot. I went sort of just past the intestines, through the liver, and then up through the opposite side lung. I'm actually pretty lucky with how that shot paid off. It went about as well as it could have done considering the angle I actually had. So I'm really quite happy with how that went. And it was unfortunate that he wouldn't just stop and give me a still shot, but considering what I actually had to work with, I was super happy with that. Now he is a 91.57% 5-star mature MOUFLON ram. This is only I think my 3rd 5-star mature MOUFLON and they just look fantastic. He scores 477.0, so I'm not sure if this is the smaller horns. I assume it must be, and that you can get like a bigger horn style than this, but either way I'm not too concerned. They just look so amazing when they hit 5-star. That is such an awesome trophy. The horns are absolutely gorgeous and they're just massive. This is such a great representation of what MOUFLON, like trophy MOUFLON, should look like. I think it's absolutely awesome. And yeah, I think all of the MOUFLON I've had must be the smaller horn style. I think they can get like a horn style bigger than this. But yeah, they just look so good to me that it doesn't matter whether they've got the bigger horns or the smaller horns. They are just so fantastic, and the detail in the horns themselves looks so beautiful. I'm super happy with that. Now for the next 5-star trophy, he's out here in this field with his palms flashing in the morning sun. We have a gorgeous 5-star mature fallow buck, and you can really see just how huge those antlers are in this lighting. They look amazing. Such a gorgeous animal. And he actually does a little bit of grunting here because I did actually call him in for a better shot, and I'm just going to go for a frontal shot there and manage to drop him on the spot. What an epic looking animal. The 5-star mature fallow are absolutely amazing. I absolutely love finding them. I've had quite a few of them now, but it never gets old. They just look so darn impressive. What a gorgeous animal. Now that shot went through the artery and through the right lung and was enough to drop him on the spot, as you will have seen, so I was pretty happy with that, and it actually sort of exits back out the side there. So again, the 270 just doing an absolute amazing job. I love the 270 pump action. Now he is an 89.59% 5-star mature. He ends up scoring 460.9, so he is on the smaller end for a 5-star fallow, but I don't mind. They're just so impressive. As with all 5 stars in this game, they just look so darn good. And something that I just really want to talk about whilst we have a 5-star mature here and we have this new inspect screen, although it's not so new now, but it's the first time I've shot a fallow deer 5-star with actually having this awesome inspect screen. I just want to really show off and talk about the detail in the antler models on this game. Just look at that. All of the lines, notches, just everything, every little detail, the coloration, everything is just perfect. It is so mind-blowing how they've managed to capture all of this detail, and I absolutely love it. You can see every bump, every little marking. It's absolutely incredible, and what an awesome buck. I'm so happy with that trophy. Now, moving over to Nez Perce Valley, and I ended up finding this by complete accident, a 5-star mature bighorn, and to me, he looked absolutely massive. I thought that this might be the biggest bighorn I'd ever shot. He just looks absolutely incredible. Now, I thought that shot might have been a bit too high, but thankfully it did end up dropping him on the spot, and I could see the pink blood, so I knew we were all good. And yeah, just a huge looking ram. I was really, really happy to actually see this, and I was just thinking he just looks so huge. And I wasn't sure if he was bigger than any other one I'd shot. He just looked so massive. Taking a look at that shot, and it wasn't as bad as I actually thought it was. It was pretty alright. A little bit higher than I probably would have liked, and maybe a little bit further back, but still straight through both of those lungs, and once again, the 270 doing a fantastic job, and knocking this ram over on the spot, which is exactly what you're looking for. It's always great if you can drop something on the spot, means no tracking, so that's always the best. I'm taking a look at this ram. He is a 97.94% 5-star mature. Now, I'm pretty confident this is the biggest bighorn I've ever shot. He's a 494.0. So this is the bigger horn style for a 5-star bighorn. There's no question about that with that score. But I'm pretty confident this is the biggest ram I've ever shot. And my gosh, just look at how awesome this is. This has to be the best bighorn models in any game. They just look so darn good. All of the details on the horns and the mass. They're just seriously impressive looking animals. My gosh. The 5 stars in this game, like I said, they really are proper, like, world-class looking trophies. And the bighorn are no exception. That is an amazing looking ram. Like, my goodness. What an awesome find. And I found him by complete accident. So that was really awesome. Now, moving on to the next 5-star trophy, and you will have just seen me spot him there, we have a 5-star mature whitetail. Now, in this group, I had 2 4-star matures. One of them ended up becoming a 3-star mature, and one of them ended up becoming a 5-star mature. And that goes further to prove my point that animals can regress in this game. I've seen it multiple times, where I'll have multiple, like, 4 stars or 3 stars, and then you'll see one get bigger and one get smaller, and it's still the same number of individuals in that group. So I'm convinced that animals can go backwards in this game, and I'm confident that one of my 4 stars became this awesome looking 5-star, and the other one became a 3-star mature. So, interesting. I was hoping for 2 5-stars, but I'm super happy to get just the one, and this is an absolute beast of a buck. And once again, the 270 dropping him on the spot. We have a 96.61% 5-star mature whitetail with an incredible looking rack. Now, I've seen a couple of really unusual looking 5-star whitetail posted, as well as a couple of unusual 5-star red deer, and I hope maybe one day I'll find one of those, but even if I just keep finding ones that look like this, I'm super happy. He's a 487.1 score. What an absolute beast. The tines on this thing, they're just so incredible looking. That's an amazing looking whitetail. Like, the models are fantastic as well, but the antlers, of course, are insane. But now, moving on towards the end of the video, and I have a couple of trophies that I just don't know how to put into words how excited I am that I ended up getting them. As you'll see here, we have a very pale looking red deer in this group, and I spotted it through the binoculars with the hunter sense, and it was a young. I was thinking, oh, maybe it's just a grey mature. No. This is a young, which means one thing. And I was looking at it, and I couldn't believe what I was looking at. That's why I thought, maybe I'm just not seeing this right. It must just be a mature. But when I saw it was a young, it just confirmed what I thought I had in front of me, which is an albino red deer hind. My first ever rare in Way of the Hunter. I could not believe what I was looking at. I just couldn't. Like I said, I thought, okay, it must just be a mature, and it just looks really pale, and I'm thinking that I've got something here that I haven't. But when I spotted it and it said young, I just completely lost my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, it really is an albino. It really is. And you can see it has the pink nose, which was the giveaway walking up to it. I was like, oh, 100%, this is definitely an albino. They're not quite as bright white as you'd maybe think for an albino, which is why I was maybe a little bit unsure to start off with if it was exactly what I was thinking. But you can see in the harvest screen, there's no doubting that is an albino red deer. I hope that they do a little bit of maybe texture rework just to make them a little bit, like, whiter in colour, but they just look, I'm so happy, like, they just look so cool, and I really wanted to find an albino red deer. That was my top thing that I wanted to find out of all of the new rares, was an albino red deer, because I just think that they're so cool. And I ended up finding one, and I'm actually glad that it was a female, just so that I could just shoot it and actually get it on the ground. Because if it was a male, a young male, I'd have to leave it and see it age. But with a female, I could just shoot it, and I couldn't have been more ecstatic. That's just so cool. And then on the same day, I end up spotting this grazing out in a field. There's no doubt what that is. That's a melanistic roe deer female. A melanistic roe. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the heck is going on? Now, I ended up taking a couple of pictures of her the first time I spotted her. And unfortunately, they did end up then spooking because they went into some cover. I couldn't see them. Tried to get a shot angle on them. And unfortunately, I just couldn't get a shot at this melanistic. I could get shots at the other ones, but not this melanistic. They spooked. And I ended up seeing her the next day in real life, and after a couple of times of spooking them and seeing them and not being able to get her, finally ended up with one time where I actually found them where they were in a good spot and I could actually get a shot at her, and finally managed to drop her on the spot. A melanistic roe. Now, the same with the red deer. I'm actually quite pleased that I found a female to start off with, because you can use them in the multi-mounts in the trophy lodge, but also because I just wanted to be able to get one on the ground and actually see one for myself and be able to say I've actually shot one. And I couldn't believe that I got so lucky. That is just an awesome, awesome, awesome trophy. I'm so ecstatic about it. Getting to harvest not only just my first rare with the red deer, but then getting to harvest my first melanistic as well. So I got my first albino and my first melanistic. And I found them both on the same day, even though I ended up shooting the roe deer the next day in real life. I can't believe it. They're so gorgeous. And actually getting to see them in-game is so much cooler. Like, I'd seen screenshots of them posted and everything, and I thought they looked pretty good, but actually getting to see them in-game, they just look so fantastic. And again, maybe they could do with just a little bit of retexturing, even though I think the roe deer are pretty darn good looking with the melanistic models. But maybe the red deer could do with just, like I said, maybe just a little bit to make it a bit more albino looking. But either way, I think both models look really, really good. And yeah, just a pair of awesome rares that I couldn't believe I ended up finding. And then, as a little bonus on top of that, when I was actually looking for the melanistic doe after I'd spooked the group the one time, I thought, okay, I'll see if I can find any other zones for roe deer in the area. And I was actually looking around and I spotted a group of roe deer that I know about, and I saw that there looked to be one very dark individual amongst the group, and it's a 1-star young roebuck, and he's a melanistic. You can see him there just walking out onto the road now. A 1-star young melanistic roebuck. So now I have this little beauty to watch grow up, hopefully into, I'd hope for like a 3-star mature at least out of this group. That's normally what I see from this group, but he might get to 4 stars, maybe even get to 5. He looks pretty even as a small youngster, so I'm going to be keeping a very, very close eye on him. And you can see the difference between the melanistic here and the common doe in the back. Just a gorgeous looking animal, and hopefully he'll get to a decent size, whatever. He'll end up going in the trophy lodge once he becomes a mature, and I'll be able to do hopefully a multi-mount with him and a doe. And yeah, just absolutely awesome. I can't believe that I finally found my first rares in Way of the Hunter. I am so unbelievably happy. I do hope that one day I can find an albino whitetail and a melanistic mule deer as well, but honestly I couldn't be more happy with finding these as my first trophies. There are roe deer, red deer and fallow deer in the UK where I live, and there are actually roe deer and fallow deer around where I live as well, so that's always really cool to me to find trophies of those. But getting to find trophy red deer as well is equally exciting because they do exist in the country where I live. So I was really actually hoping to find albino red deer and melanistic roe deer. Those were my top 2 out of the 4 rares. So yeah, I can't believe that I got that lucky, and I'm super, super happy. But that is going to be it for this video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. I have been just so excited waiting to put this one out there over the past couple of days. I just can't wait to actually share it and actually be able to show off a couple of the rares, because yeah, the rares in any hunting game to me are always really exciting to find, because they are so special and because they look awesome. So yeah, I'm just always really excited to find rares in whatever hunting game I'm playing. To actually get my first rares in Way of the Hunter, I'm absolutely thrilled. But that is going to be it for this one, so a huge thank you for watching and for all your support as always, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.